Now let's look at indexing. Okay, indexing, we have seen indexing a couple of times previously. We looked at it first time, we looked at indexing in a string, right? And then we looked at indexing in an array type of object like tuple and list. Okay. So now here we have an n-dimensional array, so you have to revisit the indexing and slicing one more time just to make sure that we understand how it is done. So once again, so we have starting point is 0, so and then index goes up, and the first number is inclusive, the last number is exclusive when you use a range. Okay, so if you have the third dimension, then you will have this repeated. You will have multiple tables, and that would be axis 0. So right now there is only 2 dimensions, so this is axis 0 and this is axis 1. So it will be like here, it's not really like a table. So here that is axis 1, then you go inside, then that would be axis 2. Okay. To represent it as table is easier to understand, but it can also be, it can also throw you off a little bit because it is not like a table. Different dimensions are nested inside each other. Okay. So here we have an array, okay, 2-dimensional array is 3 by 3. Okay. Now to access one element from the first dimension, so if you specify only a single number, then that index from the first dimension, so which will be axis 0 in this case. Okay. So ARR to D1, 0 would be in the first dimension, the very first item, so which will be that. 1 will be that, 2 will be that whole thing. Okay. Now if you want, not from the first dimension, but from the second dimension or other dimensions, well before that, back up a little bit. Now you can also specify a range. So this will be :2, okay, there are no commas or anything. So now we are talking about the first dimension, which is axis 0. Okay. First dimension, okay, no number before colon. So that means you start from the very beginning, all the way up to, but not including index 2. So that will be 0, 1. So it will be that and that, the whole thing. So that's what you see here. So here we are accessing only in the first dimension, okay, because you are only giving one number, either a single number or a range of numbers like colon. So you can also have like if you put 1, 2, then it will only give you 1 because 2 is not inclusive. Okay, and once again it is from the first dimension. Now access one element from the second dimension. Okay, so here, all right. So the colon, and then you're using a comma there. Okay. So that means the value that is before the first comma represents the first dimension. And colon means everything in that dimension. Okay. So everything in the first dimension, comma, a number. So that is from, since it comes after the comma, so that's from the second dimension. So this would be everything from the first dimension, and then, okay, so that first print will be, okay, you want each and every one of the element in the first dimension to be considered. Okay, from the second dimension we want only 0. So 0 is that, so we want 1, 4 and 7. Okay. Everything from the first dimension, the second dimension is 1, so which will be 2, 5, 8, then 3, 6, 9. Okay? Now once again you can use range of numbers accessing multiple elements from the second dimension. So here we have everything from the first. Okay, you want to consider all the 3 elements of the first dimension, and in the second dimension we want 1 through the end. So here 1 through the end will be 2, 3, okay, and then 5, 6 and 8, 9. Okay. All right. Here accessing elements from the first and the second dimension, you can do it in 2 different ways. Okay. You can give a list, 2 lists. Okay. So this is for the first dimension, this is for the second dimension. So 0 for the first dimension and 2 for the second dimension. So 0 and 2 is 3. So 0, 1, 2 for the second dimension will give you 3. Okay. Or you can give it as one single list, 1, 1, so that would be 1, 1, 5. Okay. And here again, we want everything, starting from the beginning up to, but not including 2, so 0, 1, and then starting from 1, everything after that. So starting from 1, everything after that is 2, 3 for the first one, okay, and 5, 6 and 8, 9. Well, here 2, 3 and 5, 6, because you want only 0 and 1, not 2. And same here. Here you're only looking at index 1 for the first dimension, and then everything from the beginning till not including 2, so 0 and 1. So here we are talking about 1 and then 0 and 1, so 4 and 5. Okay.